Good evening, everyone. Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. So, yesterday we had discussed the Porter's generic strategies related to cost leadership, cost focus, differentiation, and differentiation focus. And we had also started with the grand strategy, which was given by the American business theorist Paul Joseph DiMaggio. So, grand strategy, the name itself says grand. It's a strategy which covers all the major aspects of the organization from the strategic management point of view. We had also discussed in yesterday's session that four quadrants are there in this grand strategy also, and the organization, with the help of this strategy or with the help of this analysis, the organization can develop suitable alternative strategies which are based on the competitive position and growth of their industry. So, how an organization can analyze its position in a particular industry or in a particular sector, and how the organization can analyze the growth of that particular sector. Once the organization is aware that where we stand and how the industry in which we are there, how that industry is going to grow in the near future. So these two analysis can be done with the help of this grand strategy. Now, for example, a organization is there which operates in automobile industry. Now that organization manufactures, for example, organization X is there. Now this X organization manufactures two wheelers, the motorcycles, the mopeds, which are which operates on or which run on petrol. Now this is the X we will consider is a automobile company which manufactures petrol scooters and petrol bikes. Now, that is the first analysis we need to do, that where the X company stands in the automobile industry of two wheeler, particularly with respect to petrol vehicles. And at large, then we have to analyze that how much growth we can foresee or we can anticipate in this particular automobile sector of petrol two wheelers. So earlier, the growth, what was the growth earlier? Now, what will be the growth in the coming years? Now, why this is essential? Because depending upon the growth of the industry, the organization can design its strategy. If the organization comes to know that in the next 5 years there will be a great growth, exponential growth of automobile sector, particularly the petrol two wheelers, so the organization can also design very aggressive kind of strategies which will directly affect the sale of the organization. Now, why the organization is going to design such aggressive strategy to push the sale of the organization? Because they have come to know that in next 5 years the growth of this particular industry is going to be enormous, exponential, great. So that's the reason why this particular brand strategy talks about the analysis of two things. One, your organization, and the industry in general, in particular, where your organization is. So X organization, they will come up with an aggressive strategy. But now, if the X organization, while doing the analysis of the industry, that how much growth will be there in the automobile, two-wheeler automobile industry related to petrol vehicles, and when the organization comes to know that no, now majority of the customer have shifted their focus to electric vehicles, electric two-wheelers, and the growth in the next 5 years is going to be very slow because of one, two, three, four, five reasons. During the analysis, the company will draw those, write down those reasons also. The reason can be that because of, say, increasing price of petrol. Second reason could be because of the ethanol blended petrol. Third reason could be that because of the news which is coming on various types of social media, that with the use of this ethanol blended petrol, the vehicles are having problem. So these are the reasons which the organization is going to write down, and while designing their strategy for next year or next 5 years, they will think of that we should also start thinking of starting the manufacturing of electric two-wheelers. So that is the help of this particular strategy, which makes the organization understand its position in a particular industry, as well as the position of the entire industry, present as well as future position. So that is how it works. Now it is expected that while doing the analysis, the organization should say first make 4 quadrants. Now, what is to be written in which quadrant, that we will be discussing one by one. So here in the first quadrant, you can see that uh, what is written in first quadrant is strong competitive position and rapid market growth. Now here the organization, if organization keeps itself in quadrant 1, it indicates what? Strong competitive position. Strong competitive position means, if we take the same example of organization X, then the organization X will analyze that we are having a very competitive position in this particular sector. That is one. And next is rapid market growth. And our sector is going to increase at a very great pace. So if such thing happens, then the organization X is going to keep itself in quadrant number 1. Now, quadrant number 2 indicates what? It indicates weak competitive position but rapid market growth. But if the organization X, while doing the analysis, comes to the conclusion that we are very lagging far behind in the competition, there are many competitors who are ahead of us. We have to buckle up. We have to come with a strategy so that we can give tough competition to our competitors, so that we can increase our market share. So if the organization finds that it is lagging behind, far behind than the competition, whereas the industry at present also it is growing very fast, and in future also the industry is going to progress very fast. Now in such situation the organization will keep itself in quadrant number 2. Now quadrant 3 talks about weak competitive position, slow market growth. Here again, the company analyzes, while doing the analysis of its own position, comes to the conclusion that we are lagging far behind than our competitors. So we have to do something to say be to increase our market share. Now here the company is not going to come with a very aggressive strategy that it would come up in quadrant number 2, because quadrant number 2 is, although the company is having a very weak presence against the competitors in that automobile market, but the automobile industry is growing very fast. In third contract quadrant, what is written is company is lagging behind in competition, as well as the growth has also come down of the industry, automobile industry. If such is the situation, then again the company will come up with a not very aggressive strategy. They will come up with some different strategy. Okay, why to invest so heavily, and why to just come up with a aggressive strategy which is going to help us in increasing our market share, when the industry at large is not growing very fast, when the industry at large is moving very slowly. So in future, in next 5 years, the industry, that is the automobile, two wheeler automobile petrol industry, is not going to grow very fast. Then why we should invest so heavily in designing the aggressive strategy? So instead of that, here the company may think that we should concentrate on the slower market growth. And the next is the quadrant, next quadrant, that is quadrant 4. Now quadrant 4 talks about strong competitive position and slow market growth. Here in quadrant 4, it is written that the company, for example, if we continue with the same company, that is company X, automobile two wheeler company, right now the company is enjoying a great market share, but when the company comes to know that right now we are dominating this market, but whether we will be able to dominate that particular market in the years to come, when we are aware, when we have come to the conclusion that the market, the automobile growth of petrol vehicles is going to be very slow, not only in present, but in future also, the market is going to come down. So with the help of this type of analysis, any company can design its own strategy, a strategy which can be called as grand strategy. So grand, why it is called as grand strategy? Because it is not only studying the present position of the organization, but the future position of the organization, as well as it is also trying to include the analysis of the industry of that particular organization, the present state of the industry and the future of that particular industry also. And that is related to the grand strategy metrics. So if you have not understood anything, please go ahead, or we will move forward. If you have not understood anything, please go ahead, or we will move forward. Yes. If you have any doubt, please go ahead. I hope my voice is clear to all.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay, okay. Just give me 1 minute. I'm facing some technical problem. Do not go anywhere. Just give me 1 minute. Yes, am I audible? Yes, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. I hope you can see my screen.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. So that was related to the grand strategy. So if anyone is having any doubt, please go ahead, or we will move on to our next topic, that is diversification strategies. Yes, if you have any doubt, please go ahead, or we will move on to the next one, that is diversification strategy. Okay, so I hope that you are aware of the meaning of the word diversification. In simple words, we can say diversification is expansion. Now, various types of expansion of the organization is there. Generally, there are 6 to 7 types of diversification or expansion that we are going to discuss. First, we need to understand what exactly is diversification. So, diversification, it is considered as a strategy that a business uses to expand its business or its market or its product. Now, the basic goal of diversification is to spread the risk and create multiple sources of revenue. That also we all are aware of. That if we are having, why a person wants to expand the business. So, any organization, any businessman, any entrepreneur, any CEO wants to expand his or her business so that they can minimize the risk, so that they can add revenue to their organization. Now, how we can add revenue? If multiple businesses are there, multiple products are there, if you are providing services and you are providing, say, multiple services. So, if multiple services are there, that you will be having, say, multiple sources of income, and that is going to add to the revenue of the organization or profitability of the organization. Now, the basic objective behind diversification is to minimize the risk. Risk of what? That if only one product is there, if only one business is there, if only one services are being offered by the company, and if that business, that product, or that service do not do well, then the organization may face loss. To avoid that risk, to avoid that loss, most of the organization, they go for diversification strategy. Now, generally, there are two type of diversification, and then they are subdivided. Now, what are those two type of the main diversification types? So the main two type of diversification is, first one is the related diversification, and the second one is unrelated diversification. Now, related diversification means when the company is expanding its businesses in the area where the organization is already into operation. For example, if the organization is, say, manufacturing, say, electrical appliances, so they are manufacturing, say, ceiling fan, table fan, air conditioners, air coolers, and if they decides that they will be adding the production of, say, iron, or they will be adding production of other electrical appliances which are similar electrical appliances, then that type of diversification will be called as related diversification. So they are expanding their business in the field where they are already operating. So that type of diversification is called as related diversification. Now, unrelated diversification is when the organization is into the business of electrical appliances. Now, that particular organization wants to say enter or enters in the skincare or beauty and skincare sector. Now, that particular expansion will be called as unrelated expansion. So, related and unrelated. Related, where the organization is already in operation. Unrelated is it is trying to expand its business by entering into a totally new field that is not the field of the organization. The organization is in which sector? They are into manufacturing of electrical appliances. It is nowhere related to skin beauty care and skin and beauty care. But they when they did the analysis, they came to know that this is an industry which is going to be uh, growing very fast in the years to come, and the profit margin in the product is also very high. So the company decides, as they were having enough capital, they decide that instead of expanding in our related businesses, let's try our hand in the skincare and beauty products. And that type is called as unrelated expansion. So that particular diversification comes under unrelated diversification or unrelated expansion strategy. So that is the basic meaning of diversification strategy. And the two types, general types of diversification, that is related diversification and unrelated diversification. Now we will move on to the types of diversification strategy. So first one is the horizontal diversification. Now horizontal diversification is when the company adds new product or services to reach new customers or markets related to the product which they are already producing or manufacturing. Now that is called as horizontal diversification. So already the company is manufacturing certain products, and then they are trying to expand that into a broader into more products. So earlier, for example, if the company is making say three products, now the company decides that we will stick to that particular sector only. We are not going to try our hands in some other industry. We will stick to that particular product, but we are going to expand the range of the product. So instead of three, now we will be manufacturing five products, and that is called as horizontal diversification. For example, if we talk about the Google. Now, Google, when it started its business, that started as a search engine, that whatever information we want to search, we can use Google search engine. And now multiple options are available, but earlier there were no multiple options. Now Google decided that okay, the Google search engine is good, doing very good, but let's expand in do the diversification expansion. Now in horizontal diversification, what they have done is they started the say Google the advertising, online advertising, that earlier that was not there. Email advertising, so that digital advertising they added, they created that part or that service, that okay, now Google comes with this service also. You can do your company, your product advertisement in through Google also. So that is how, or then they came up with cloud storage. You can store your data safely in Google Drive. So earlier only search engine was there. Now they have expanded it, but they have not entered in a very different field. In the same field, they are trying to expand their business, and that is called as horizontal diversification. Then we can talk about Apple, that first they came up with the iPhones. When they came to know that yes, iPhone is doing very good, then they started that iPads, then they started iPods. So what they have started is that after knowing or after analyzing the success of their product, they stayed in that particular sector and they tried to expand products which are very relatable. And that is again an example for the horizontal diversification. Next one is the vertical diversification. Now, if we talk about the vertical diversification, it is a strategy where the company expands its business by entering into different stages of the production or distribution processes. Now, here, what happens is that company takes control of more than one stage of the production or distribution process. Now, for example, to control the quality of the product, the company realizes that the quality of our product depends upon the quality of raw material. And for purchasing or getting quality raw material, we are dependent upon the third parties. Now, company decides that we are going to come up with a new company, and that new company will be our company only, and that company will be supplying good quality raw material to us, so that we henceforth we shall not rely on the third parties for good quality raw material, because sometimes the parties may give, the external vendors may give you good raw material, whereas next time they may give you the substandard raw material. So to avoid that, when the company decides that okay, we are manufacturing say telephones, and for telephones we need quality raw material. Now, if we have come to know that many times because of substandard raw material, the quality of our phones have got affected, and that resulted in complaints from the customer, the company decides that we are going to purchase or we are going to purchase the company of the um, party which is supplying the raw material, or we will create a new company, and that new company will be our own company, and that company will be supplying us the raw material, and that will be of top quality, and we can be rest assured that it is our company, it is the extension of our company, it is the say branch of our company. So we can rest assured that we will be getting the best quality raw material which we can use for manufacturing mobile phones. So ultimately the quality of phones will be great. Or if the company which is manufacturing phones comes to know that for logistics and supply chain we are dependent on other parties, we manufacture, we get a good quality raw material, we manufacture our phones, but when it comes to for logistics and supply chain management, we have to rely on the other parties, and many time problem arises in this area only. At that particular time the company may purchase or may come up with its own logistic and supply chain services. So company need not rely upon the third parties for logistic and supply chain management of its phones, and that is called as vertical diversification. Now the third one is called as concentric diversification. Now concentric diversification is when the company expands its business by adding new products or services that are closely related to its existing products, which are very closely related to the existing product. Now existing product, for example, if we take the example of Amul, now they are into say dairy products, we all are aware. Now for concentric, when we are saying that company is coming up with a new product which is very much closely related to the existing business, closely related, not exact. In horizontal and in vertical, in horizontal we have seen that exactly similar, whereas here in concentric is that this is the diversification strategy where company expands its business by adding new products or services that are closely related to the business uh, of the company, product of the company or services of the company. Now for example, the Samsung services, Samsung company. Now we all are aware that it's a multinational company, number one company of South Korea, which is say into manufacturing many products. Now when the home appliances of the Samsung companies is was doing very good, their refrigerator was doing good, they then they started with the TV also was doing good. So when they acquired that expertise related to manufacturing products electronic products, they started entering into, or they entered into the manufacturing of mobile phones or smartphones. So smartphones again, why they have entered this very it is not exactly similar but related business which is dependent on electronic softwares. So as they were having expertise in electronics softwares, They thought that yes, if we can enter this market also, and we can do well in this market also. So when a company decides or comes up with a strategy that we want to enter in a very related market, if not exact, now that diversification is called as concentric diversification. Now the fourth one is conglomerate diversification. Conglomerate diversification is when the company decides that we are going to diversify our business interest in various sectors, which are related, which are not related, both. So one company which is manufacturing, now for example, if we take example of Samsung is a company which is into manufacturing of, say, electronic products. They are into the manufacturing of electrical appliances. They are into, say, real estate. Also, they are into banking services. Also, they are into the manufacturing of defense equipments. Also, so one company is entering into different sectors. So they are not entering into a sector where they are having expertise, but the moment they feel yes, we are having enough capital, and when they come to know that this particular sector is offering a lucrative growth, they enter that sector. When they come to know, no, now this sector is also becoming very attractive, they enter that sector also. So that is called as conglomerate diversification. Now in conglomerate diversification is where the company expands into unrelated businesses. Now here the example are many. Example of, we can take example of Tatas. Now Tatas, that it is into why the Tata group of companies is also called as the Tata conglomerate. Now why it is called as conglomerate? Because you will find Tata everywhere. They entered into business with the textile industry. Later on, they went for uh, the steel industry, iron and steel industry, then the aviation industry, then the food industry, then hospitality industry, then medical industry, then education, then research and development industry. So one company, when it diversifies its businesses in multiple fields which are totally unrelated, then we can say that the company has started diversification or has applied the conglomerate diversification strategy. So that strategy is called as conglomerate diversification strategy. Now, the next one is called as geographic diversification. Now, geographic diversification is from the name, from the word itself, we can understand that geography talks about location, talks about area or location of the organization's business. Now, for example, one organization which is manufacturing its product or offering its services from Pune. Now, it wants to diversify, do the expansion, or set its another plant in Mumbai, another plant in Nagpur, another plant in Sambhajinagar, another plant in, say, Satara. So that company is doing what? That company is doing geographical diversification. So product is same. The product, they are not changing the product. It is not that in Pune they are into manufacturing electrical appliances. In Mumbai they are manufacturing into hospital equipments. In Satara they are manufacturing defense equipments. That is not there. Geographical means the product, the business or the services of the company remain same, but they starts expanding their business place. That the company is having one branch in Pune, another branch in Satara, another branch in Mumbai, another branch in uh, other city of the Maharashtra, or outside Maharashtra also. So, or outside the country also. And that is known as the geographic diversification. So, when the company is diversifying, the company is expanding its business from one location to other location, one city to other city, one state to another state, and the company, while offering the same product, same services, but is expanding its location, expanding its branches. That type of diversification is called as geographic diversification. Now, the next diversification is product diversification. Now, it is that um, diversification which is undertaken by the organization to broaden their current products. Current products. So, right now, if the company is making four products, then they decides that instead of four products only, we will go for more products. We will add it to five product, then six product, seven product, eight product, and that is called as product diversification. Many companies are there which has gone for product diversification. One of the largest, or the largest e-commerce company of the world, if we talk about, that is Amazon. All of you might be aware of, because it is related to e-commerce. So I hope that everyone is aware of the origin of Amazon. Originally, it started in United States of America for online sale of books. That was the concept. That there, the company came up with the idea that let's make the life of people who are interested in reading books very simple. They can just visit the website of the Amazon, and they can order the book, and that book will be delivered at their doorstep. Earlier, that type of facility was not available in anywhere. So if a person wants to read a book, he or she has to go to the bookstore, physically purchase the book, and then come to his or her place, and then he or she can read that particular book. So the entire time of going to a bookstore, purchasing book, and coming back to the to house, that was, that will be reduced. That was the idea. And later on, the company, when started getting orders, and then they realized that in under this particular model we can sell the other products also. And now we all are aware that how many products they have added in their list. I'm also not aware. I'm not aware that what is the total number of products they are having. Some of you might be aware of that these are the number of products which are listed on the Amazon. So that particular strategy, which adds product to the business, that strategy is related is called as product diversification. So what the company is expanding into or diversifying itself into, it is expanding or diversifying itself into adding new product. That's the reason why it is called as product diversification. And the last type of diversification is related to market diversification. Now, market diversification is when a company grows by reaching out to new groups of customers or market with its current product or services. Now, this particular strategy means finding and entering markets that are different from the ones the company already serves, whether in terms of location, demographies, or interest. Now, for example, the market diversification of Coca-Cola. Now, Coca-Cola, it's a leading beverage brand, we all are aware, which has expanded the product offering beyond the traditional sodas, that is Coca-Cola. They have included a variety of beverages such as juices, bottled water, sports drink, and tea. And that is called as market diversification. So, what they have done is that by when they are operating in a particular market, that is beverages, soda market, beverages market in general, we can say, and under that soda market. And soda is soft drink market, we will say, or soda market, cold drink market. Now, when they were selling their Coca Cola, they realized that they can have or there is a demand for the other products also. Other product means that there are people who are very health conscious. They are aware that lot of sugar is there in the Coca Cola soft drink, and that sugar is not good for their health. Now, when the company realized this, then they came up with a new version or new product, and that was Diet Coke. Similarly, the company also came up with the bottled water, that yes, we are using water, we are using soda, so let's try our hand in the bottled water also. And when the company entered into it, they tasted success. At that particular time, they also realized that many people are growing now health conscious, so they are not liking soft drinks, they like juice. So why not start enter in that market also, juice market? So they entered the juice market also. So they have started with the juices also, the package juices, bottled juices, tetra pack juices. So this is how the company is entering into the various markets. So earlier they were only in a particular market. Later on, they shifted to the other market, then other market. So it is not that like conglomerate, that it is totally unrelated. But within that beverages industry, soda market, or they were they at top in, say, cold drinks. Then they entered in the bottled water, and again they enjoyed a very good position in that market. They entered the juices also. So that is called as the uh, market diversification. So these are some of the diversification strategy or types of diversification strategy. If anyone is having any doubt, please go ahead, or we will go to the next one. Yes, if anyone is having any doubt, please go ahead, or we will go to the next one. So the next one is, as per the syllabus is concerned, vertical. They have mentioned twice. So vertical, we have already vertical integration is very much related to vertical diversification. I'll read out and then we will stop. It is very much related to that. We have already discussed all these things. So, vertical integration involves merger of two or more companies that each serve different functions in the supply chain. Vertical integration consists of a company taking control over minimum two steps, such as production, distribution, or selling process. The rationale for vertical integration is to streamline the process from start to finish, that is, more oversight across all stages of the production process. So it is very much similar to that only, which we had discussed, that in vertical integration, what happens is when the company comes to know that we are becoming dependent on the third parties, and if the company is having enough money, the company wants to be in command of more than half of the steps. For example, raw material. So if the quality of the most important part for the quality production is raw material, so let's acquire the company which is supplying us raw material, so that we can be guaranteed for good quality of raw material every day throughout the year. We will be getting quality, good quality, and that is we have already discussed, related to the vertical integration. Now this again, we had discussed what is vertical integration, the benefits of vertical integration, or vertical diversification, that we will be discussing in tomorrow's session. So thank you everyone for being present in today's session. Tomorrow again we will be there for at the same time, that is 7 p.m. Thank you.